Welcome to Charts Today. My name is David Linton, and today's edition for Friday, the 28th of August, comes to you from London. And we notice again a mixed screen of colours today, so market's still in mixed mode. We start by looking at the dollar, and we see how the dollar has just dived this morning. So that downward pressure from the longer term trends. We're making now lows not seen for 2.5 years. So interesting there that the dollar is just falling away quite heavily. And the euro is sitting at 119, so that's actually now nudging 2.5 year highs against the dollar. Those big surprises there. Sterling is sitting at 132.80 against that weaker dollar. Remembering this is my long-term, medium-term and short-term view of the market, so this is weekly, daily and 60-minute and the corresponding point and figure charts. So sterling has got potential to go higher. We've got targets here 135, so looking stronger indeed. Looking at sterling against the euro, we're sitting at a 111.50 this morning. So we were higher yesterday, just nudging that 112 level. So we are just seeing a slight improvement in sterling, just kicking up here. Still bearish long term and medium term, but the short term chart just has the upper hand at the moment. Bitcoin sitting at $11,400. Not much change there. Still short term bearish below the cloud. The S&P 500 index edged higher yesterday. This is the breakout week. We see the weekly candle here with a gap. So we are looking bullish on that long-term chart. We've got good upside targets still, 8 to 20% higher, showing up on both charts really. So a shortage of short-term targets at the moment. The targets have been met, which is bullish confirmation, but we don't have any new targets for the moment. So we might just pause here for the end of the week. The Nasdaq 100 looking amazing still, pushing higher. Again, not so much to play for, having really moved quite a lot, so we might be reaching just the place where we might need to pause. The Dow is up. I was up 0.5% yesterday. Still has work to do to get to a new all-time high, but it's getting closer. And if we look at the futures today, we see the S&P future up 0.3% and the Nasdaq future down very slightly. So it does suggest that there will be a mixed response at the opening. The market volatility, the VIX, sitting higher. It did spike up yesterday, so it's quite interesting that we're just seeing a little bit of an increase there in the VIX. So that is something we do need to just keep an eye on. We've come back, but we have jumped from sort of 21, didn't touch 27 yesterday. So a little bit of a spike there. In the UK, the FTSE 100 index future is down very slightly. The DAX cash is down 0.2%. The CAC Cron is flat, and Tokyo was down just 0.2%. News of their president. Prime Minister actually resigning, so that's just causing a little bit of political turmoil. The Hang Seng was up 0.5%, and Shanghai Composite was up 1.6%, holding its bullish stance on all three time frames. We still haven't quite activated this new upside target for Chinese stocks to rocket. Looking at the Sensex, that was at 1%. That's looking very strong indeed. Still not making new highs, of course, but we are back above the cloud this week on the lagging line, and we will wander through on the price. The Aussie market was down about 1%, so falling into short-term bearish territory, so it's bucking the trend a little bit there. If we take a look at gold, we're sitting at 11.58 at the moment, so we're bullish on all three time frames again. We've got a breakout building here in either direction, but the trend is up, so we'd favour the upside. Silver sitting at 27.53, so that's looking still pretty strong on all three time frames. And US 10-year yields ticked up to 0.75%, so we've seen here quite a big move in the last week, 100 basis points basically. So we are seeing there quite a big move to 0.78%. So looking very strong indeed. Taking a look at the energy mix, Brent crude still sitting at 45.08. The Gulf storm passed through without having a major impact on oil prices. We are just heading into sort of weaker territory with some downside targets, so we'd favour on the very short term the downside, sitting at 45.08 at the moment. WTI sitting at 43.03. That's looking a little bit better, but we have targets in either direction. Medium term, we do have more upside targets. The big one is nat gas. We've rolled into a new contract and we're sitting at $2.72. So we're seeing now this progression towards the $3 level, and it looks more and more bullish for this long-term recovery. So gas prices higher than we've seen for some time. Coal actually recovering a little bit, so it's come off the bottom, looking a lot better than it was. So we have seen a little bit of an improvement here and a bounce. The key thing is this is a slow recovery, big failures and then moves to the upside. We do have an upside target here on coal, but not much to see on the 1 minute chart. Keep an eye on your OTC data. Emissions has been a clearer cut chart. The better liquidity gives us better price targets. We had targets 29.45 yesterday, which we said would be met, and that's what's happened. We're now at 29.70, very close to the 30 euro mark now, so emissions really starting to run again. Looking at MBP, we're seeing good recovery here in the front month contract, and TTF much the same. Gas prices just rising on the whole there. So we're just seeing really big moves there globally on gas. And if we look at the winter gas contract, we're up 4% today, and that recovery really clearly assured. So we're seeing now targets to 14. So that's looking very likely next week. German power also surging ahead, sitting at 42.75, a 3% rise today. Big upside targets, looking really good. And so that's a good end to the week for power prices. That's it for today. Until Tuesday, it's a bank holiday Monday in the UK. So until Tuesday, happy charting. See you then. Bye for now.